There's only one station for times like these. Oklahoma's only 100,000-watt talker. This is the new Freedom 96.9 and freedom969.com. Freedom
Weather.
Here's your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon, expect a mix of clouds and sun with a high of 60. Tonight will be clear and chilly with freezing temperatures and some cooler areas dropping to 35. Tomorrow will bring plenty of sunshine and a high of 67. On Monday, enjoy pleasant conditions with abundant sunshine and a high of 73. Tuesday will be partly sunny and breezy, reaching a high of 75. Wednesday looks bright with plenty of sun and a high of 75. With your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
We interrupt our program with a special bulletin.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are solely those of the speakers and other contributors. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of this station.
McRoof Fortifies, Oklahoma, back on the air for the second half of today's live call-in show. And Benny, I know you're hanging on the phone. Stay with me. On this date of November 1st, 1800, President John Adams became the first U.S. president to live in the White House. He declared it the People's House. On this date in 1834, the first published reference to poker as a Mississippi riverboat game appeared. Now, how obscure is that?
That's pretty obscure.
1834. Poker on a riverboat. How about that? All right, so in coming up in this segment, we will get to Scott's view from the rooftop. But now let's go to our good friend Benny. Hey, Benny, what do you have to say for the good of the country?
Good morning, everybody. Fall is finally here.
Yeah, it feels like it. Good morning, Benny.
And it's ups and downs as Oklahoma weather always is. But I did have some questions about the Roof RX program. I had a nice interview with Chris about some ideas a while back.
Right.
And I thought of another one, but I'll discuss that off the air at some point in time. Okay. I've got a new roof a little over a year ago that was finally had the time to replace, and did all the proper stuff with McRoof. And as far as the warranty, the extended warranty I opted for, and in the case of the Roof RX program and those historical records, if you switch insurance carriers, how do you get that history of both the warranty and the Roof RX historical records to your new carrier, or to the carrier ahead of time, to help improve your insurance coverage rate?
Well, Biddy, that's a good question. And in your case, being a little technology challenged, the way that it's going to work for most people is we're building the platforms. In fact, the platforms are built right now for our initial clients. And for our initial couple of insurance carriers that are involved in this. And we're getting ready to build a platform. We're getting ready to build the interface for an agent producer, and we will have an interface for the in-network roofing contractors. So everything would be stored in one place where people would have access to their particular piece of the data. In other words, your insurance company would be able to look at your annual inspections. They'd be able to go in and look at the data sets of the photographs if they really wanted to, although I believe what they would probably do is look at the annotations and the prescription that says that your roof simply needs to be maintained, okay? Mm-hmm. They will be able to see to some degree, they'll be able to see that you are in the maintenance protocol, because they'll be able to see all of your invoicing to show that from the insurance company standpoint, they will be able to see that you are collaborating with them to mitigate the risk on your roof. Okay, they'll have a record of it. They'll see your year-over-year and your re-inspections. They'll see data. If there's any repairs that have been done, they'll have all the documentation of that actual repair. before, during, and after photographs, invoicing for the repairs. They'll know that you're someone who is serious about taking care of your roof, mitigating that risk, and taking care of this to the best degree you possibly can. They'll have that information. You will have every one of your inspection reports, your invoicing, all your data sets, all your prescriptions. You'll have an actual history from the time that starts until it ends, okay? And if you go through, and we were doing this, and you and I won't be doing this, but say we were in there for 15 or 20, 30 years, and we're actually replacing your roof at some point in time, all of those records would be in there, all of the warranty documents would be in there, and then we would just start all over with the maintenance protocols. And that's how it will work. It's all going to be captured in one place where insurance carrier, agent, broker, producer, roofing contractor, what we call in-network contractor, and the client will all have access to that information that pertains to them.
Okay, well, technologically challenged means I don't have a computer for those out there listening land.
Yeah, so obviously there will be paper trails of all of this, and we can create paper files for you and deliver those to you in a reasonable manner. You can come and see Carly or something, but we'll figure out a way to get you all your information on an updated basis. But that's how it's going to work, and the beauty of this is that it's going to be once we start, there's going to be a constant historical record of what happens on that roof from the day you entered that Roof RX universe. So that's the beauty of it.
Well, what the program actually is having been an old equipment repair guy with many service contracts for those that wanted them into my field of work. You get preventive maintenance, aka inspections and any fix-its that are needed to prolong the life of the product and reduce the, in this case, weather-related event problems.
Yep.
But in the case of equipment, they reduce the number of trouble calls you get. Yep. Particularly for those outside of the metro area.
And what we built into this is you're going to get lifetime workmanship on your repairs. You're going to get discounts on your repairs, and you're going to be earning credits towards an ultimate replacement for as long as you're in the network and under the maintenance protocols.
So it wouldn't really make any difference if you change carriers, because all that information that the current carrier has would be available to the new carrier.
That's exactly right. In other words, we're going to have the database. We're going to have the historical record of your roof from whenever you entered the universe that we can transfer to a new agent, broker, or producer, to a new insurance carrier, to a new in-network contractor. In your case, you'll never have a new in-network contractor because you wouldn't use anyone other than McRoof. But
as long as I'm breathing.
So that's how it works, Benny.
Super. Hey, and also, being so-called, I know how to basically turn on and operate a computer, but if anything gets haywire, I'm lost.
Hey, Benny, thanks a lot. We got to keep moving. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Thank you.
Hey, Benny, I appreciate you.
As always, gentlemen.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, so Scott, let's get you up on the roof. And hang on. Hang on up there, Scott. Oh, no, man, not again.
Oh, man, I got vertigo today, too.
All right, Scott, your view from the rooftop today is titled, Where Have All the Craftsmen Gone?
I was on a roof. I think it was probably Tuesday, and I was looking at some copper work that had been done. This was an expensive roof, had what we call had jewelry. We call it roof jewelry.
Yeah.
Had copper ornamentation and things on the roof. And I was looking at the copper, and it just, quite honestly, it was not done by an artisan.
Oh.
And I'm spoiled. A lot of you know I blew north across the Red River, and I had a good friend in the copper business in North Texas. Still the only person that person that I would go to if I wanted a piece of art made.
Yeah.
Okay. Not necessarily roof jewelry, but if I wanted a piece of art made out of copper. Anyway, Brian is such an artisan and such a perfectionist about everything that carried on to all the work that they did on the roof. And we've got a great copper company here. Russell with Custom Copper just does a phenomenal job. But I was looking at this copper work and I'm thinking, where have all the craftsmen gone? Where has the pride in what we do? And I went and I was looking, what's the difference in an artisan and a craftsman? And really it was more of the artisan was more about the art, and the craftsman was more about the function and the quality. So that was but you marry the two together.
Yeah.
But where have all the craftsmen gone? And I think I've told you, Rick, when I was a wee lad in high school, I had all my credits, by the time basically I was a sophomore. So I loved construction. And I thought that I wanted to be a builder, and that's what I wanted. So I'd go to class and go to English class and PE, I think were the two classes I had to go to. I think that's what it was. And then I'd go work.
Yeah.
Went to work for a general contractor, worked for him junior year, senior year, all through college. And it was the vocational technical program, and yet I was a straight A student. So, somewhere along the way, we decided that we valued head over hands, and we started moving a lot of things towards higher education, that 4-year degree. And we have got a real issue right now in this country with not being able to obtain the labor folks that we need, the craftsmen, the artisans, to be able to do the work that needs to be done. And it's sad. I look at it and I think that we really need to find a way to elevate those, those craftsman positions, those with your hands positions in people's eyes. We have to change the mentality and the way people view that.
Well, I know that in Oklahoma there's a big push to get people into VOTEC schools. We have a great national award-winning VOTEC system.
Yes, we do.
And
yes,
I see a lot of promotion on TV advocating for going into trade school.
I've got a couple of the Francis Tuttle people in my leadership, Edmond. And interesting conversations there. I'd like to be able to build a program for the roofing trades.
Oh, that'd be nice.
To where we could, but we used to have, apprentice,
right,
and move people through the trades, and we don't necessarily do that now. I don't know.
With that, we'll take our final break. Hey, we are live streaming. Back during the news break, the engineer came in and figured out why we weren't live streaming. So
you forgot to turn it on?
Something like that. Yeah. The second half of the show is on YouTube.
And I called Randy Technology.
So Benny was the engineer?
I don't think so. We'll be right back. McRoof Fortifies, Oklahoma. Homer Stacy was a wholesome, good American kid from Texas. At the age of 18, he enlisted in the United States Army Horse Cavalry and was stationed at Fort Bliss. Homer was fascinated with aircraft, so he went to flight school and became an Army Air Corps pilot. Homer Stacy flew a Convair B-24 Liberator, the Yankee Doodle Dandy, on November 11, 1943, when his crew, along with 31 other bombers, destroyed a ball-bearing plant in occupied France. On a return trip, a mechanical failure caused the Yankee Doodle Dandy to drop out of formation, leaving it vulnerable, and shortly thereafter, 7 German Me-109s shot down the plane near Andano, Italy. 4 crew members were killed on board, the others parachuted. 1 was captured and taken prisoner. Homer was among the remaining 5 who made it to Switzerland and returned to duty. Homer Stacy survived World War II, the Korean War, and retired after 23 years of service with many awards and commendations, including the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Purple Heart, and multiple air medals. Homer Stacy McCollum, Scott McCollum's dad. Scott McCollum is McRoof. McRoof.us is owned and operated by the McCollum family, an honorable, trustworthy red, white, and blue family. If you want to fortify your property, call McRoof.us at 405-877-4663. Ask for your complimentary roof inspection performed by a credentialed Hague residential inspector. McRoof.us, saving lives and protecting property by fortifying Oklahoma one roof at a time.
Everything starts with the inspection. At RoofRx, we're not just flying drones. We're the team that built and teaches the state-of-the-art drone program at Francis Tuttle in Oklahoma City. That expertise means we know how to capture the right images so Hague-certified Scotty and his team can deliver an accurate prescription for your roof. And if there isn't damage, you still get a documented baseline, a 3D model with high-quality images, so you're informed and protected for the future. RoofRx, the prescription for your ailing roof.
McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma, back on the air for the final segment of this morning's live call-in show. Hey, live meaning that you can call us at 405-608-4377. Last call for your call. On this date of November 1, 1870, the U.S. Weather Bureau began operations in 24 locations. And then on this date in 1941, moving up to the 20th century, you know that Ansel Adams' famous photograph called Moonrise? Hey, Scott, I know you're from New Mexico. Do you know where Hernandez, New Mexico is?
I do not.
Well,
I do not.
That famous Ansel Adams photograph of Moonrise is really titled Moonrise, Hernandez, New Mexico.
Really?
And he shot that on this date in 1941.
I know there are some fantastic photographs from Ansel Adams out of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Just absolutely phenomenal.
I love the landscape of New Mexico.
Yep.
Okay, so we're in our final segment. Later on in this segment, we will get our After the Storm tip. But, Scott, I wanted to ask you more about what's coming up for McRoof and Roof.
Oh, man, it's going to be a busy couple of months. I know that Avery's got a lot of stuff on the agenda for us to do some training throughout Oklahoma for the roofing space. I've got some Rotary Club presentations set up for the rest of this year. We're doing a lot of work with the PRMA on their education outreach right now. I'm getting a lot of questions from people about, kind of where to go. A lot of folks have this roofing issue as a major issue or stumbling block for them.
PRMA,
Private Risk Managers Association.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So getting a lot of work there for me to do in terms of visiting with people and educating them. And then we're preparing, putting a panel together for the Southern Climate Resilience Conference in San Antonio next year, trying to get that put together. So we've got to get our submission in, get our panel built. That will be essentially we're going to do a convective storms type panel with someone from the flood space, someone from the hurricane zone, because the southern conference or the states are Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. So that region, obviously, we have hurricane flooding and wind. We have inland wind and hail. We have wildfire. So we're going to have flood, wildfire, and the wind and hail hazards and the hurricane hazards discussed there. We have people from the insurance side of things, and then Avery's going to participate in that because we're talking about the collaboration that has to take place to educate across the universe, make sure that everyone's being educated, the consumers are getting good information, understand this information too about building resilience. So that's what we're doing.
What about getting 3 bids? You know, the old days of I'm going to get 3 bids and go with the lowest one.
Well, I was actually hoping that I'd get a phone call this morning that I'm apparently not going to get because this was real life. This was I need a bid, and when pushed, and let me frame this so everyone understands. There's nothing wrong with telling someone that you need a bid for a roof. If you want a cash bid for a roof, then tell them you want a cash bid for a roof. But you need to understand what that means. If you are in the context of an insurance claim and you ask a contractor for a cash bid on a roof, or you do not provide the contractor your insurance company's claim summary to be able to supplement, to be able to line item out and make sure that it is correct, all you're going to do at the end of the day is cost yourself money and save the insurance company money. Make this as simple as I can make it. You've got a $25,000 insurance claim, RCV value $25,000. Your deductible's $5,000. Okay? The insurance company at the end of the day, when all the work is done, assuming that you did all the work with no supplementation, no added anything, they're going to pay $20,000 and you're going to pay $5,000. Okay? You take that same insurance claim and you go out and you ask for bids on your roof. And you get a bid for $20,000, and you get a bid for $17,000, and you get a bid for $15,000, and you think, oh, great, I'm going to take the bid for $15,000. I just saved myself $10,000. No, you did not. You just saved the insurance company money because they're now going to take the $15,000 that you proved to them you paid. They're going to deduct your $5,000 deductible, and they're going to send you a check for $10,000.
Yep.
You just took $10,000 out of the contractor's pocket to build you the roof that is supposed to only replace what you already have. Forget about making it any better or doing it correctly or building it to building code.
Right.
All right? This particular conversation went like this. Google told me I needed to do this, and any reputable roofer gives free bids. Okay? So I got it from the horse's mouth. Google told me to do this, and any reputable roofer gives free bids. I'm going to tell you, folks, every reputable roofer does not give free bids, okay? And every reputable roofer does not give bids, all right? McRoof, in the context of an insurance claim, we take your insurance claim and we will scrub it. We will add every line item. We will add all the code references. We will do everything that is supposed to be done. We will work to get your insurance claim supplemented to the carrier and approval for the proper replacement cost value of your claim. If you want us to do that, then that's what we do. If you want a cash bid, tell us you want a cash bid. We're not going to supplement your claim. We're not going to file any paperwork with your insurance carrier for you to recover your depreciation, because we're not going to get roped into telling the insurance company that you paid money that you didn't pay to try to keep the value of that claim up where it originally was. We're not going to play that game.
Yeah.
So simply, if you want a cash bid, we're happy to give you a cash bid. We're not going to have any involvement with your insurance claim whatsoever.
All right. After the storm. Now, wasn't a storm last night in Oklahoma City, but we did get a little bit of rain. But we did have some big storms last week.
We did have, and that storm is probably, that storm may be bigger than a lot of people know. I think that the original estimates on the value of that little hailstorm that came through Thursday night a week ago was initially were somewhere on the range of $350 million.
Ooh.
Drop in the bucket for you, Rick, but that's a lot of money to me.
Right.
So
Pocket change.
Anyway, I think it's going to be bigger than that. I will tell you that we've been on roofs in the Choctaw area that have the largest hail impacts on the roof evidence that I've seen since 2010 storm.
Wow.
I mean, walloped. I mean, roofs that are just absolutely destroyed.
Wow.
Now, I will tell you this. We've been on a couple of my Class 4 Climate Flex Northgate shingle roofs from Certainteed, and man, they took a licking and will keep on ticking. Not much to say
Good
about
to hear.
that. Not much to say about that big hail. So, but we do have some of the old scrim technology. We still have some Landmark IR, my original workhorse shingle. We still have Landmark IRs over in that part of town. Those roofs will now get replaced. So,
Okay.
Most people know, don't file an insurance claim until you've called someone that you trust to inspect your roof. That is a qualified roof inspection by one of my credentialed roof inspectors.
All right. I should take this opportunity to say once again that S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.us, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing. You're listening to McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma. Scott, in the minute or so we have left before we get to Dad's wisdom, anything else you want to say?
Well, I think that we're getting to the place. We have time change tonight. Or early in the morning. Our days are going to get short. We're going to start. We're going to start dealing with frost.
Yeah.
So we'll have situations where we won't be able to get on roofs until 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. You're having to start buttoning things up and cleaning up by 4:30 or 5 at the absolute latest. So we're going to have. We're kind of going to get to that place where we're really getting half days essentially.
Yeah.
So a roof that would have been a one-day roof this summer is going to be a 2-day roof now. Roof that would have been a 2-day roof is going to be a 4 or 5 day roof now.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. It's what we run into every year this time of year. I will tell you that when you're talking about the Flex technology, the modified SBS shingles, those shingles were initially designed in cold weather climates. Those shingles are designed to be installed in temperatures down to 20 degrees. So the fact that it's going to get cold will not keep us from being able to build roofs with the new technology asphalt shingles.
Retro Radio Randy, you haven't said a whole lot today for being off probation.
He didn't get in trouble, though, did he?
No, I did not. And I am grateful.
Kind of reminds me of my dad saying, hey, keep your mouth shut and remove all, open your mouth and remove all doubt. You know, Randy's bought into that.
I know how to zip it.
All right, Scott, Dad's wisdom.
Okay, and Ben Franklin et al. So the bitterness of poor quality lasts far longer than the sweetness of a low price.
You've just listened to episode number 31 of McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma on Freedom 96.9 in Oklahoma City. We'll be back next week. Scott McCollum, Scotty McCollum, Retro Radio Randy. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. Hey.
KQOP Enid, Oklahoma City. Make the right choice and keep tuned to the new Freedom 96.9, your first choice for talk radio in Oklahoma.